I actually wrote that title like 30 minutes ago, and then I got sidetracked. What's his name? God damn it. What's that YouTuber's name? The guy that cried when Trump won. Luke Beasley. Luke Beasley's in a war zone in Ukraine, somewhere I did not expect to see him. I figured he'd be in the fetal position. I mean, he looks like he's about to cry in this video, but at least he's there. You can't say he isn't. I wouldn't blame him. I'd cry in a war zone. If I had to go back, I guess. Out of pure joy and bloodlust. Yeah, that's his face when he's crying. There's not time to cry in a war zone, no matter how devastating it is, no matter how bad it is. You gotta keep your head on a swivel. You can cry when you're safe somewhere. I had a guy on a 50 cal one time. We got hit with an IED, and I could see the guys in a thermal running away in a field. And I was trying to get him to shoot, and he wouldn't shoot. And then I noticed he wasn't even responding. His gun was facing the right way, but he froze completely up. This is the first time, I guess, it was the first time he'd ever been in combat. I don't have to say I guess, but he froze up. He pissed himself. I had to pull the emergency latch out of his seat in the turret to get him out so I could get up on the gun. And he just laid in the back of the vehicle the rest of the trip. Mumbling shit. I don't know. It was weird. There's a quick release cable on their seats. It's not for that situation. It's for if we have a rollover. Because you have a rollover in a vehicle, the turret ring can shear off, and it would basically just cut you in half. So there's like if you're incapacitated or don't know what's going on or don't act quick enough, there's a quick release pin that drops them down in the truck. It's painful. Like you shouldn't do it as like a joke or just fucking around, but it is life-saving sometimes. Here it is. I'll show you. I just found it. That's pretty good timing, right? That wasn't bad. Let me move this over here. And then I got a video playing in the background. All right, here we go.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome everybody. I'm less late. I was actually going to be live at 10:30. Then I started watching that Luke Beasley video, but it is what it is. This is what I was talking about. So you see this, there's a red tag here, and you can see a portion of one over there. Hold on. This is like a T-strap, right? Like a T-handle strap. You can tell that's a quick release device, right? This O-ring holds it all together with pressure on it, and it's like the return spring too. When you pull this, it drops this latch right here and drops the seat buckles. You can pull it from either side. There's one over there too. It's obscured partly by the strap. And then this is the seat. There's the turret. It's closed currently. But anybody from the front, anybody from the back, the driver, the front passenger, both rear passengers, anybody can pull that. The gunner himself, if he thinks that's quicker than trying to get out of the seat, get it out from under you, especially with body armor on. Sometimes it wants to stay underneath you or hung up on your body armor. Anybody can pull that, and it drops the gunner immediately. The problem is it drops them onto a pretty hard fucking floor plate. But it's better than being chopped in half, right? If the truck rolls over, you're either going to get crushed because the truck's going to, or thrown out, or crushed one, or get chopped in half if the turret comes loose. That would be a pretty shitty way to die. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Border Collies reached out. Said my agent called and told me I got a mention on some guy's podcast. It was all bad. Every bit of it was bad. So thanks for checking in, I suppose. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. If you want to support the stream, do that at buymeacoffee.com. Oh, I should probably turn off the bot, shouldn't I? Buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer. It still says coldbeer.fun. Let me refresh and that'll stop that. Hold on. It's kind of useless right now. Anyways. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. How's everybody's day going? What is Sunday? Sunday, end of the weekend. Got work tomorrow. Look out. Is that Patrick Bet Davids? Sorry, I just saw that they had him on Jubilee. Is that an older video? Or is that new? 11 hours ago. It's a newer video. We can't play Jubilee here. They'll just strike everything and take it down. But I guess it is 1 capitalist versus 20 anti-capitalists. By the way, he made, Patrick Bet David made all his money off of MLMs. Like basically pyramid schemes. So there you go. Oh yeah, holiday. No work, right? I didn't even think about it. Dude, with the campgrounds not functioning as a campground, it's like the normal things that I'm used to like running into, I don't, right? Tomorrow's a holiday. We'd be like getting ready because that's like the big last holiday of summer, but now this year we're just all fucking sitting around staring at each other. So anyways, thank you guys for showing up. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Let's see what we got tonight. There's still a bunch of shit going on around the dark money bullshit. Taylor Lorenz, her story. Somebody found pictures of her partying it up at Trump's inauguration. Yeah, we're super busy. We actually pack out those weekends, Labor Day and Memorial Day. They're actually sold like in the first week of February or last week of January. Whenever we start taking reservations for that year, we're sold out. And then we always keep 2 or 3 empty spaces, even though we're sold out. We always keep 2 or 3 empty spaces in case something happens. Like someone shows up, they won't fit there, or the power, someone backs into the meter base or the septic is messed up at that site, so we can move somebody without being like, sorry, we're full. So we keep like a couple empty spaces, but usually it's pretty packed. And I avoid it like the plague. Like I'm the maintenance guy, so like I go straight to the office, and if they need something, they call me. I come in and fix it and leave again, because I do not do crowds, and it is stupid busy. And usually we used to be, the other side's destroyed too, but we used to be 2 campgrounds right beside each other. And our campground is like more family friendly. There's like a quiet time. It's not like a party, but the other campground is like, it's like a fucking party until goddamn 3, 4 in the morning. And those people wander over here and these people wander over there. I don't know. It turns into a mess when there's a lot of people there. That's why I get the fuck out. The owner is very good at that type of stuff, but I am not. So thank God there's someone else there to represent the campground, because I would make everybody leave. Fuck it, we're out of here. Anyways, the veterans are still, actually, let's start there. The veterans are still in D.C. doing their thing. Their sit-in, their stay-in, their protest, whatever they're doing. The 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. J.R. McJewski now says, someone's like, well, you didn't show the tents. He's like, let me tell you real slow for you. How was I supposed to know that was their tents? But, so it's like he's admitting that he lied, that they weren't there, right? But this guy said that he's going home, and he's going to start back in the morning. And it's angry USMC veteran, right? Angry Marine veteran. And he says, I'm going to find a place to sleep. We'll start back up in the morning. That doesn't mean he went home. That's why there's tents there, right? Like someone was staying in that tent. And then he says, well, all the lights were off in the tent. They weren't there, dude. Let me show you. Start here. Sorry, I saw this first.
Identify as trans. Right, that number, but we have to start asking the question, is there a pattern here? Right, because what percentage of Americans identify as trans? Right, that number is amazingly low.
By the way, they misidentify a ton of the fucking shooters almost instantly as trans.
But what percentage of shooters are by that very small amount of people? Right, like if we look at the Denver school shooting, both suspects identified as trans. If we look at the Aberdeen, identified as trans. If we look at the Nashville identified as trans. Now the of Uvalde has not been confirmed to identify as trans, but their friends have said they identified as non-binary. And it's the same case with the Georgia. When we get to the Iowa, gender fluid, Philadelphia identified as trans, and the Colorado Springs identified as non-binary. Now, this doesn't mean in any way that trans people are fine.
Yeah, but what percentage of them are straight white males?
Not trying to make that assumption, but we can all agree that people that identify as trans are a very small percentage of the population. However, they have started to make up an increasingly larger percentage of violent shooters.
Lock in, fuck niggas. We about to fact check this shit. So let's get it. What the hell are you talking about? First of all, that list of people that committed mass homicides, not all of them were trans like you said they were. 90 people that you showed, yeah, 3 of them were trans, the rest of them were not. But that's not
3 out of 9, right? He's already at fucking 30%.
I even made the video. You said that trans people make a big part of people who commit mass homicides. And that doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm not gonna assume that you don't know math. I'm going to assume that you didn't use math. You said that trans people make up 1% of the population. That's sort of correct. America has a rough population of 340 million people. 1% of 340 million people is 3 million people.
Their go-to is to blame it on something that they're against, right? Before it was trans, it was fathers in the home, or the destruction of the American family, or the parents didn't raise them. As long as it's not guns, as long as it's not access to guns, access to firearms.
UCLA says there's 2.8 million
mental health
people living in America.
They'll jump up and down and scream and say mental health's a problem, but then when mental health funding comes around, they're like, that's not my responsibility.
According, it's roughly been about 600 to 800 mass homicides that has happened here in the United States. 5 of them committed by trans people. And 96% of the people who committed this act were men. Data also shows that trans people make up less than 1% of people who committed these atrocities. I mean, if we just look at the pictures of the people that committed these crimes, they all have
They're less than 1% of the population. They're less than 1% of the people who commit these types of crimes. That checks.
something in common with you more than trans people. They're white, cis men. So how are you able to see a pattern that's not there, but not see the pattern that's actually there?
But we have to start asking the question, is there a pattern here? Right? Because what percentage of Americans identify as trans? Like,
Older millennial would say anything as long as it goes along with it, a larger percentage of his audience. All right, let's go to J.R. McJewski. He responds to Good Trouble. I think it's the one in the red shirt. Let's see.
Come on, Scott.
No, maybe not. Oh, this one maybe?
JR, you don't want this smoke. Go.
Look, I'm off today, so...
Look, this Wired report from Taylor Loren. Yeah, so when this guy's not busy doing his dance challenges...
You on.
Come on, Scott. I'm gonna need something...
Where the fuck did I watch it?
This happens too much in our country. And if you look...
Sorry, I'm looking for it now. I know I saw it. It was about the veteran thing, so that has to be here. Somewhere. Oh, he might have a backup channel. Hold on just a second. I'll get the link. Give me just a second. Settings and privacy. Activity center. Watch history. Okay. Yeah, it's on a different one. Copy link. Let me send this to myself, guys. Give me just a second. Okay, that should work. All right, here we go.
One small problem, JR. You're a pathological liar, and I'm about to expose you. You started your little expose video here, but unfortunately for you, you included part of the encampment you said was
This is the official J.R. McJewski account.
there.
All right, so this is the video we saw, and he accidentally showed this tent. It even looks like there might be someone standing there, but that could be part of the tent. I don't know, because it's all blurred, like motion blur.
Here. You can't. This is the same night, by the way.
You guys hear something?
Ah, got him.
Oh.
Yeah, got him good.
If you need somebody to get your bike down for you, I'll help, okay? All right, so I know you're going to bat for your bros, okay? I get it. But let me explain it to you very slow.
Okay.
This was supposedly the first night they were there. And this guy says they're leaving.
Day one is in the book.
Does this guy say they're leaving? Listen very closely. This is USMC Angry Veteran. Does he say everybody's rounding up and we're leaving? Is that what it said? I just want you to listen, chat. You tell me.
And this guy says they're leaving.
Day one is in the books. I'm going to find a place to sleep.
They'll start back again in the morning.
Contact you in the morning. We will start back up first thing tomorrow morning.
The tent
Is that what he said, chat? Did he say, we're all packing up, it's over, we won't be back till tomorrow? He said, I'm going to find a place to sleep. I don't know. Maybe he stayed in a hotel. Maybe they had someone else stay there at the tent. But he does not say that they're all leaving, that they won't be there 24 hours a day, that this is proof that they're actually not doing 24/7. I think somebody was there, sleeping in the fucking tent.
First thing tomorrow morning.
the tent was dark.
And when he says we're starting up first thing in the morning, that's for people to come join them. He literally says, I know you cut it off, but he says, we'll contact you. Because I'm sure someone asked, hey, how can I come up there, do something? I want to come up there. I want to see you guys. And he probably says, shoot us an email. Somebody will contact you. We'll be starting back up first thing in the morning. Hold on. Listen to the part he clips out.
In the morning.
Contact you in the morning. We will
Contact you in the morning.
start back up first thing tomorrow morning.
The tent was dark. So you expect me to realize that these dudes would have tents?
Wait. The tent was dark, and you didn't even know they had tents? So you thought that tent had nothing to do with them. The tent was dark, and you expect me to realize that these guys have tents. So the tent was dark, and you had no idea the tents were connected to those guys. So those tents could have been for anybody, right?
Realize that these dudes would have tents? There was nobody in the tents. They went home.
Wait. Was it dark and you didn't know that the tents had anything to do with the protest? Or was it dark and you knew that the tents were empty? These are two different things.
So you expect me to realize that these dudes would have tents? There was nobody in the tents. They went home. So the fact that I didn't film the tents is a moot point. I had no idea that they were hanging out in tents because jolly good.
Okay, so how do you know that? What?
Ginger's GoFundMe said that it's 24 hours a day, okay?
Yes. 24-hour-a-day presence. That doesn't mean they're picketing at fucking 3 a.m. Why would they?
Sorry, I didn't get the nuances, man. Again, if you need me to help you get your bike down, I can.
But he's still sticking with the same story. That it was empty, they weren't there, it's not 24 hours a day. But it is. Let's see what else he says.
Shit, I pissed off Aunt Medea.
What's the matter, JD? Don't have the balls go down on yourself?
But no matter how many times I try to convince her.
Then why do you get so angry?
I don't get angry. I keep trying to tell you, and I do not get angry. Somebody do something to me, I do something to them. This is common sense.
I'm sorry they weren't there when I went there, Thomas. I was going to go again, but my dad said no. Just doesn't understand.
Let me go ahead and help you understand something. Maybe the oath that you took expired.
This has nothing to do with my personal oath. Oath? No. Look, Medea, be pacific, okay? We're talking about something that is relevant to Jolly Good Ginger's little GoFundMe that said they would be there 24 hours a day. They weren't. Sorry you don't understand that. Okay.
But they are, and your two excuses was that it was empty, maybe. It was dark, definitely. And you also didn't know that was their tents. So you went into what you thought was someone else's tent to make sure it was empty? No, of course you didn't.
Oh, shit. All right, Scott. I'm gonna need you to
Be better.
Yeah. Look, don't follow the trend of these other guys. Like, just don't, man.
This is his second account.
On TikTok, and I know you've been through a lot. And look, I know your people are mass reporting my content, and I'm honestly not trying to be a jerk, honestly. Social media isn't my life. I don't earn my living from social media, so I can take risks and say things that you can't. And I don't live my life through social media, so it doesn't have the impact on me that it does.
I guess this Scott Henry guy used to be a Trump supporter. Kind of like me. I used to be a Trump supporter. Because all the comments here are saying, I used to love Scott. He's pathetic now. Unfollowed Scott Henry a long time ago. He was a Trump supporter. Then he was offered that Democrat money. He's such a peckerhead. I really liked him 5 years ago. Now he just seems like he has fallen off. I definitely am glad he isn't on my For You page. Unfollowed him a long time ago. I was Team Scott for too long. He got so weird fast. He got so weird so fast. He got me in 2020 when he was crying about his daughter. He's a good faker. Scott's become a vile human being. He sends his minions to attack people. I watched him on the show, Tough as Nails. He was an asshole. That's when I started unfollowing him, and he's gone downhill from there.
Other people. Let me tell you, man, over the past day or two, I've been looking into more of your content, and I kind of feel for you a little bit, but what they did to me politically, to the tune of about, I don't know, anywhere from $12 to $20 million spent against me, lying about me, but you'll last about 3 days. 3 days. I've been going through it for 3 years. Even though I vindicated myself. So, I get it, though. It's not an indictment on you or anything, but you have a decent following. Maintain it. Do good.
So we're being kicked out by National Park Services.
You guys do realize that Jolly Good Ginger suffers from, what is it, main character syndrome?
This is how it looks when you protest, when you conduct acts of civil disobedience. The system fights back against you.
In his mind, it's him against Donald Trump.
So let's get down to real business talk, Rick Flair. Let's get down to dollars and cents. You dealing money. You wearing them sealsucker suits.
He's like Dusty Rhodes back in the 80s. And Trump is like Ric Flair.
Hey, come on, big man. I'm begging you. Lay a hand on me. You kill you. He's double A. He's the enforcer, and I'm the nature boy. Woo!
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Ric Flair, Arn Anderson with some very, very big chores tonight. They're going to be
Wrestling fucking jokes are so relatable.
facing 452 pounds.
J.R. McJewski.
I guess if he's like Ric Flair, then I'm.
Oh, by the way, shout out. I did not see it last night. But thank you very much to Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver left a donation over on the Rumble channel. And sometimes the Rumble channel chat works, like it comes over the way it's supposed to, and sometimes it doesn't. I didn't see it till the show was over.
Like Arn Anderson? I don't know.
The whole world thought JR was dead.
I know. We all love Dusty Rhodes. We do. But I have to do this. It's too great to not do this. Couldn't pass this up.
So we're being kicked.
That's right. According to the D.C. Distracted Drivers Act of 2004, it is illegal in Washington, D.C. to use your handheld device to film while driving on the streets of D.C. Congratulations, JR. You win the Moron Award of the Year.
Wow, you're a lovely bitch, aren't you? Well, I have news for you, genius. First off, I don't give a fuck. Report me to the D.C. police. They can fuck off. I don't care. When I drive a Tesla, see that? Yeah. All right, folks.
I don't think it matters as far as the laws are concerned. You can't be on your phone. Even if you're in self-driving mode.
Award of the Year.
Wow, you're a lovely bitch, aren't you? Well, I have news for you, genius. First off, I don't give a fuck. Report me to the DC police. They can fuck off. I don't care. When I drive a Tesla, see that? Yeah. Yeah, you pay $100 and some thousand for a car because it drives itself. You know? Okay, yeah, get it? Okay. No, I'm not the one, lady. I'm not the one. Yeah, I'm not the one. I don't need any stalkers. Okay. I would hate to tell my buddy Cash Patel that you're fucking internet stalking me. I like my Tesla though.
My buddy Cash, I'll tell Cash Patel on you.
Autopilot is a motherfucker. Do they have auto thinking? Download.
That's right. According to the D.C. Distracted Drivers Act of 2004, it is illegal in Washington, D.C. to use your handheld device to film while driving on the streets of D.C. Congratulations, JR. You win the Moron Award of the Year.
All right, folks. So my Saturday has been almost as good as my Friday. I mean, it's been pretty good. These liberal content creators, you guys saw the list, right? Yeah, all these guys, Liberace and fucking the Munchkin Land. So look, I'm over here fucking minding the gap, man. I'm like fucking Rick James. Like, you guys want some? Come get it. Really. I mean, got some new additions to the list. Fucking.
No, you cannot legally or safely use your phone while a Tesla is using a self-driving, autopilot, or full self-driving features anywhere that these laws exist, including the District of Columbia.
Funny Bunny.
It's still just as illegal. I think technology will eventually catch up, but it's just not there yet. They're not making what the technology law hasn't caught up with technology, right? Could you prove that it was in self-driving mode and like, what are you going to do? Let the cop download the data from the car and see if it was actually in full self-driving mode? Like, there's no way. It's not there yet. Eventually, I think it'll be like that.
That stays at home and thinks she's a genius because she knows how to Google, but she doesn't really know how to prompt. The one that stalked older millennial. Yeah, her. Yeah, she joined in the fray. So she doesn't like the fact that I drive a Tesla that has autopilot and drives itself, so which allows me to film out of the window. I don't know, some people, you can take the trailer park out of the trailer. I mean, whatever. Then you had Medea. We added Medea to the list. Oprah came after me a couple times, and you just got to roll with the punches. I mean, she gets mad all the time. All right, folks. So my Saturday has been almost. Well,
Medea and Oprah are the only two black people he can name off the top of his head.
And all the kind wishes online, Donald Trump is actually healthy and went golfing today.
Is this healthy? Hold on, I got a picture of him. Is this healthy? Hold on, before we finish this video, let me grab this one.
There he is. Donald Trump was just spotted.
The picture of health.
On Saturday morning, looking deeply unwell. The White House says he's doing great and he's looked better than ever. But as I zoom in on this photo,
oh, someone bought 3 6-packs from buymeacoffee.com. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I just got the notification. It should pop up on the screen eventually. It's being stupid right now, but thank you. I'll go grab it.
That's not what I'm seeing right now. As you all know, Donald Trump did not have a public appearance since about Wednesday. He's been trying to cover up that hand of his, which is decomposing before our eyes. Those ankles.
Oh, it was anonymous. Someone bought you 3 6-packs. Thanks, Will, for keeping me laughing all these years. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Are so inflamed. The White House was saying that it was just a minor issue, although many have been speculating it's something far more serious.
Oh, thank you, Jen.
He looks deeply unwell this morning in the photo that's being released. Contrast that with the photo of former President Biden from this morning as well with his granddaughters. You see him right there. Great beach day with 2 of my favorite humans. That's from Ashley Biden's post.
Oh, by the way, I think some of my headaches were coming off of caffeine. Like I was getting long fucking crazy headaches. Plus I've lost some weight again, so I feel a little bit better. But this is so I'm only drinking 1 soft drink a day now. I wish I wasn't even drinking that. 1 soft drink a day, usually about a half of one. And then I got this Mio like water stuff that's got caffeine in it. It's the Mio Energy, caffeine and B vitamins. And I feel a lot better.
Post right there, and you can see that former President Biden.
Yeah, he's a fucking stallion when it comes to healing his ear. There's not even a fucking scratch left. And his hand has been bruised for 3 months. Because, according to the White House, someone shook his hand too much.
Looking very healthy, and he's actually the one who's transparently told the country what he's going through. Similarly, you have California Governor Gavin Newsom posting the following: "Have a great Labor Day weekend, Patriots. God bless the working people who make."
What a fucking stud, dude. You might not like Gavin Newsom, but he looks like he's fucking Tom Cruise in a movie. Goddamn.
America great. I mean, just contrast that photo of what Gavin Newsom posted to how Donald Trump.
The only thing I can't drink is, I think it's aspartame. So anything that has like aspartame as a sweetener in it, it gives me a headache. And I would love to drink those. What brand are they? I love the taste of them, but I like right after having the Lipton green teas, my uncle drank them a lot, and he offered me one time. I love the taste of them. But they give me whatever their sweetener or something, some ingredient in it gives me the worst headache all fucking day. I can take like 2 sips out of it, and 30 minutes later, I've got a headache all fucking day. And the only reason I know about aspartame is my mom used to love Diet Mountain Dew, and I tried drinking one multiple times. I didn't put them together at first, but the first time I ever drank one, I got a really bad headache. It went away, and then several weeks later, I was at their house, and she's like, "Oh, you can have a Diet Mountain Dew," and I was like, "Whatever," and tried it. Got another headache. It took me like 3 or 4 times to put it together, but it's definitely that.
Trump looks this morning. You know what? In fact, you don't have to do that because Governor Newsom did that for us. He put a side-by-side photo of himself and Donald Trump. Governor Gavin Newsom just called Donald Trump.
God damn, dude, look at that. Gavin Newsom looks more like the villain than the hero, but still, he looks like he's getting cast in a movie.
He's a loser. After the Court of Appeals ruled that
Donald Trump over here looking like Gilbert Grape's mom.
Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal. Now, in addition to Donald Trump looking and presenting physically sickly, frail, and weak, he also is behaving physically frail and weak. And his behavior towards Vladimir Putin is nothing short of a nuclear bootlicker. It's really an embarrassing thing to be an American and watching Donald Trump's handling of this, turning the United States into like a Soviet satellite, not standing with our allies, not being the leader of the free world, not defending Ukraine. I've been covering a ton the ultimate betrayal by this Trump regime to Ukraine, but Ukraine is working with Europe and fighting on. Just look at some of these headlines, though, we're seeing locally this morning here in the United States. U.S. farmers are pulling back on spending.
Somebody told me today that the Crumble CEO came out as gay, and I was like, duh. Have you ever seen him speak at all? Like, of course he was gay. But then goes on to the rumor is, I don't know if there's any validity to this, the rumor is that him and Lindsey Graham are an item.
Working with Europe and fighting on. Just look at some of these headlines, though, we're seeing locally this morning.
Famous bachelor, heterosexual white male Lindsey Graham.
Here in the United States, U.S. farmers are pulling back on spending in threat to the rural economy. John Deere had major layoffs this week. The company Caterpillar has been warning about tariffs. This is just the beginning of what we're going to see here. We know that fertilizer costs are way up. Farmers are absolutely suffering.
Trump looks rough. But he went golfing.
Yep. Many news outlets are putting this rumor to bed that's being spread by liberal activists online. You know, as much as I disliked Joe Biden, never wished him to lose his life. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I felt bad for the guy because it was very obvious that
Sure you did.
all his faculties and his mental health was suffering, yet the Democratic machine maintained this illusion. And they used things like an auto pen to fool the general public while this guy got up in front of the entire country and embarrassed himself time and time again. Even suffering.
Trump uses auto pen, retard.
Losing his bowels is what it means. Just a sad thing, but the liberals, they want the worst.
Wait, that's literally fucking bullshit propaganda from the right wing that he shit himself or whatever. Well, I don't feed into this bullshit propaganda from the left wing.
Has anybody checked on liberal TikTok influencers today?
Hey, love you, Bob. Guys, I'm peeing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wait, that was a shot at older millennial. Did you miss that?
Hey, love you, Bob. Guys, I'm peeing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was older millennial being tased, saying, guys, I'm peeing. I'm urinating myself.
Hasn't been a good couple of days for them. I can only imagine. You know, their followers are pretty nasty. I've had quite a few hours spent appealing my videos being taken down in strikes, but haven't lost one yet. And somebody even emailed my employer to let them know that my posts were highly offensive. It sucks, though, when you accuse me of stolen valor and my employer knows that that's all bullshit because, well, you know, you have to have an active set of clearances to work in nuclear. I mean, you have to be able to get
Well, you can continue to lie about your combat experience and still get a fucking security clearance.
clearances. I mean, wow. If I would have lied about that, just think. Anyways, I'm glad that you guys care so much to send a message to my...
Just think. If I'd lied about that, just that you can lie about being in combat and have a security clearance.
Has anybody checked on...
Every 2 hours, this motherfucker posts. That's why there's so many. We haven't even been through today yet.
I don't know if this is true, but there's a rumor that Hair Bear and Jolly Good Ginger are going to be doing a roadshow in Chicago. A little lock-in. They're already shooting campaign commercials.
A little heavy. I like my beer here and there, you understand? But let me tell you something, Daddy. This old boy right here in this soul of his is a heart as big as anything in Texas.
Going to Chi-Town. The Bears. Yep, that's what they call them. A bear. Not the football team, but, you know, a bear. You know what I mean, right? Get it? Yeah.
Ah, he's gay. Ha ha. Kazaa. You got him.
Oh, breathe. Okay, I hope we see these guys in Chi-Town. The Windy City. You know why they call it the Windy City?
It's always super funny when you have to explain your joke. Get it? You know what I'm saying. What I mean is, you know, gay people are sometimes called bears, right? Because they're the bigger one, the bigger hairy ones. They're bears. Breathe.
I'll look it up. Liberals will say it's because of the storm, but history will tell you it's because politicians were windy. They used to lie all the time. Democratic politicians. I just wanted to play that clip for you. This was just an excuse to do that. Have a good day. Now, I don't know if this is true, but there's a rumor that Hair Bear and Jolly Good Ginger...
I'm a serial stalker and
3 hours ago. This is also from today.
Habitual liar. Damn it, I'm lonely. I'm a serial stalker and habitual liar. Damn it, I'm lonely.
Is this supposed to be Bunny? It doesn't even look like her. This is supposed to be Bunny, by the way. The one that exposed all the stuff about older millennial. It doesn't even look like her.
Serial stalker and habitual liar. Damn it, I'm lonely. I'm a serial stalker and habitual liar. Damn it, I'm lonely. I'm a serial stalker and habitual liar. Damn it, I'm lonely. I'm a serial stalker and habitual liar.
Anyways, we got a story about Bunny. Let's see. That was it. So how many of those posts are from today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's
5 of
right,
them.
according to the
5 posts today. Jesus fucking Christ. You liberals live online. I don't need this. I've got a real job. I don't have time for this. It seems like it. This was just funny. He's following around all over the city. playing the Imperial March song. It reminds me of when, what's his name, Masterson, dresses up like a stormtrooper and it's like, we got to stop the rebels. Come on, guys, aren't you on my side? Oh, and then while we got the Bluetooth speakers out, this is what Jolly was doing today.
So the MRAPs are back. I want to show you guys where they've put these things. They got them.
I agree with Jolly here. There is zero purpose for this MRAP being here other than propaganda, right? As soon as you get off at Union Station, you see the military, you know that Trump's in charge, he's got it locked down. What's the point of them being up on the fucking the brick walkway? They're parked there front and center because they look good. There's zero tactical advantage. There's zero fucking criminal reason. Like there's no reason for them to be there.
I'm up on the curb where people are supposed to walk at. Look at this. They serve absolutely no purpose. Even if this was a war zone, and it's not, this would never serve a tactical purpose. They have put them up on a pedestal.
They're just right out in front of the building just to look good. So when you get off, you think, man, the military's here. Trump must really be in charge or some shit. I don't know.
Just so that when people come out of Union Station, they'll see these soldiers and the MRAPs. This is using our military as political theater. These are exhibits for people to look at. This is political theater. And so I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring our speaker right up here, and we're going to play the words of General Milley.
I'm deeply honored to have worn the cloth of this nation.
If Helene wouldn't have happened and we were just like fucking normal and not rebuilding and trying to put everything back together, I probably would have went to D.C. when I heard they were all going.
For 43 and a half years.
These are other veterans that come to stand with us.
It's not about us. It's about something much larger than all of us. We don't take an oath to a country.
Listen.
We don't take an oath to a tribe.
Listen.
We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king.
Listen.
Or a queen. Or a tyrant. Or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
That part.
We don't take an oath to an individual.
That part.
We take an oath to the Constitution. And we take an oath to the idea that is America. And we're willing to die to protect it. And shed their blood to see this great experiment of democracy perish from this earth. No. We, the American people, we, the American military, must never turn our back on those that came before us.
That part.
And we will never turn our back on the Constitution. That is our North Star. That is who we are.
What's up, Nurse Julie?
We fight.
I'm a little less late.
Thank you. And may God bless our military, and may God bless the United States of America.
I was actually going to be early, so I thought it was like a funny joke, but then I started watching Luke Beasley's video, and I didn't make it.
There we go. And now, let's do it again. All day long, troops. All day long, troops. You're going to hear this. All day long.
We're honored to have worn the cloth of this nation.
So the MRAPs are back. I want to show you guys.
So he just sat there and played it on loop over and over and over and over again. Let's actually see. Were they completely kicked out? I saw JR McJewski respond to the video, but I want to see where they kicked out. I want to watch all these. Hold on.
So we got some DEA agents right here. DEA agents out in Union Station. DEA agents. What does DEA stand for? Does Epstein approve? Is that what does Epstein approve? Because you realize that your presence here is just a distraction so that we don't have to release the Epstein files. I think you guys are probably highly qualified in your specific fields to do anything except walk around Union Station being used as political theater. So my only question to you is, does Epstein approve? DEA. Have you found any drugs? or alcohol? And may I use them if the answer is yes? Does Epstein approve? So we got some...
14 June.
Time for you to go now.
What's your name?
It's time for you to go now. It is time for you to go now.
What is your name?
Thank you.
I would like to press charges against you for putting your hands on me.
Well, we had a Karen smack volunteer, so now we're going to let the internet do their job. Here's the story. We were playing General Milley's speech on our loudspeaker. General Milley's speech says we swear to a constitution and not to a wannabe dictator. When this lady came out of nowhere...
They hate that speech.
Why we are playing this speech, we explained to them that we are all veterans and we are protesting the military occupation of D.C. Specifically, she was talking to Matt here, USMC, angry veteran. And out of nowhere, she started telling Matt, hey, my brother died in the war and you shouldn't be doing this. And Matt said, well, I had lots of friends die in the war and I believe in what I'm doing. And she kept mentioning how her brother died, and Matt said, you need to find another way to emotionally manipulate me. That's not going to work. When she realized people were filming it, she walked back to one of our volunteers, smacked them, knocking their phone out of their hand, and then
So a crime actually happened, and there's literally handfuls of National Guard and federal police there, and they did nothing.
Saw where Matt told her, now it's time for you to leave. We don't know what the hell led her to believe she could put her hands on other people, but the volunteer does want to press charges against her. So in order to allow this volunteer to do so, we need to know who she is. Thank you, Internet, for doing Internet things.
14 June.
Time for you to go.
So we just had a major incident happen here at Union Station. Park Police showed up. Metro Police showed up. The Metro Police chief showed up. He had colonel rank on his shoulder. We had Amtrak Police showed up. We also had an extra National Guard unit show up and a police helicopter over our heads. There was no less than 4 agencies and about 100 people show up because 2 people allegedly used sidewalk chalk to write on a street pole here, or a flag pole here. They got flag poles right here on, you used to see those flag poles. They're at half mast right now following the shooting in Minneapolis. And somebody brought some chalk, we don't know who, and wrote on the base of those flag poles with chalk. Now the chalk is gone now because it washes away with water.
I don't know that this is arrestable. If you don't want people doing that, you can tell them, like, hey, you got to get rid of that. Like, but it's chalk, right?
But Metro Police, the Metro Police chief, Amtrak Police, and National Guard en masse showed up, plus a helicopter. Both of these alleged criminals have been arrested. So scratch everything I said about there being no crime spree in D.C. I've witnessed
the chalkers are out here.
A violent, egregious crime committed with sidewalk chalk, and the response by police was completely appropriate. We needed 100 people here.
Rock chalk Jayhawk.
Get involved. You can't just have, you know, errant chalk laying around where people could potentially write on lampposts where it could be erased. Thank God we had all the police here. Crime spree in D.C. So we just had a major incident happen here at Union Station. Park Police showed up. Metro Police showed up. All right, so we're sitting at a bar on U Street. People are walking by. We're just going to gas random people up. Wait for it.
I like the guy that does the cat calling compliments. He's got a pretty funny channel. Damn, girl, you look like you know how to balance a checkbook and shit. Like, it's just, it's funny.
Look at that swag. Y'all looking good on
Yes. Yes. Bob, how about this one? 5 at 90. Hang on. Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by. Dolly.
I just purchased just all the roses off this guy. We're gonna pass them out.
Back. I need to bring that back. Merry Christmas. Whatever holiday. What holiday is it? Hanukkah. I love Hanukkah.
Y'all are looking fantastic. Yes.
Are you gonna take hers? Okay, there we go.
You get one. Yes. 100%. We love it. Yes.
Hey, bro. Real quick. Why?
She deserves it. Whoa. Are you about to say she does not deserve it? She's done her hair.
You give it to her. How good?
Is she? Oh, you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
You got one, you don't. Right here. Here you go. No.
You guys are beautiful. All y'all.
Here we go. Yeah.
You can understand people being apprehensive, obviously, but good job.
No, Nelly's is two down. So basically go to where you...
Give this to her. She deserves it.
like that, she's earned it.
She deserves that. Give it to her. No, it's for her.
With that skirt, you think it's for you? No.
He's such a hater. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
She deserves that. Y'all have a good evening.
Yeah. No, girl, watch the grade.
Come here real quick. I promise, no trick. I promise, no trick. No trick. I promise. I swear to God.
Thank you so much.
Give this to her. It's not a trick. I swear to God, it's not. Ma'am, I was gonna give you this rose for real.
Oh my God, honey, you are serving. Wow.
We got you a rose, gentlemen.
You a rose for the both of you. You guys are looking fun.
No, it's this dude get the rose. My man. My man. Yeah. All right, so
A lot of crime in D.C.
So I'm here with Dave.
People don't even go downtown anymore. You can't even walk down there without getting big balls beat up.
Here at our Veterans Rally Point. Dave, you saved America twice. Tell us about that.
Yes, I did. So I'm 89 years old. I'm a Holocaust survivor, born in Nazi Germany. And we came to the States in 1938.
Speaking of, I don't want to take away from this guy's story, but have you guys seen Jojo Rabbit? I'd always heard about it, but I'd never seen it. I just watched it a few days ago. It is such a good anti-war movie. Like, it is so good. And silly and makes you laugh. Like, it's a good movie.
At the age of 6, I was photographed in Bloomingdale's window in New York City, smashing.
I remember wanting to see it when it came out, but I just never did. And then, you know, I forget. There's so many fucking movies come out, and I'm like, I want to see that, and then never think about them again. But it is a good movie.
Tin cans to send them into the War Department. So basically, I'm the reason why we're not speaking German.
So you guys were smashing cans to send to the War Department for what? What were they doing
to make tanks and airplanes?
Oh, no kidding.
That's how we beat Hitler, because we outmanufactured him, thanks to people like me.
Right. So you saved us from speaking German. Right. And what's the second time you saved America?
The second time I was in the Army for 3 years in Germany, on the East German border, and my job was to warn us whether the Russians were coming or not.
Okay.
Communications intelligence. And so basically the reason we're not speaking Russian today is because I was there to warn us that the Russians were coming. Unfortunately, they didn't come.
See, this is what they don't tell you in the history books. The reason we don't speak German and the reason we don't speak Russian
is because of me, and I'm still waiting for my Presidential Medal of Freedom. I don't think I'm going to get it through this administration, but
guys,
I can always hold out.
I need you guys to start a petition. Let's get it signed. Get David the Presidential Medal of Freedom. David, it's a pleasure meeting you. I appreciate you coming here. Thank you so much.
All you have to do is donate a few $1 million. Be an Adelson.
So we're being kicked
here it
out
is.
by National
Finally caught up.
Services. You can see right here our 2 tents. Let me show you. This is our 2 tents, our tables, all of our veterans. We have a lot of veterans, a lot of volunteers here. And we have a permit to be here. And Park Police has cleared our permit twice. Today, National Park Services, which is separate from Park Police, it's National Park Services showed up. And they're being very nitpicky about details in the permit that nobody told us had to be very specific, and they waited till today to do it because now we can't go back and make these minor amendments to the permit until Tuesday when they reopen.
The holiday weekend got them the fuck out of there.
Kicked out of our location right here until we can go in on Tuesday and amend our permit. And bear in mind, Park Police has cleared our permit multiple times already, twice in the last couple of days, and then of course when we first started. And so this is just them fucking with us. Let's just call it what it is. This is us being fucked with because we're making noise, because what we're doing is sending out hope, and people are showing up in large numbers and joining us, and so now they're fucking with us. But we'll just move our stuff down here and we'll join with the flare tents, which is where we started on Monday with. So I'm here with.
Oh, so they just recently got their own tents.
Join with the flare tents, which is where we started on Monday with flare tents. Flare is for Liberation and Resistance Everywhere. It's another organization that has some pre-permitted tents on there. We'll join them until Tuesday. We'll change our amend our permit. We'll set back up here, and we'll probably get kicked out again eventually. This is how.
Flare is a 24/7. I think they've been there since Donald Trump was elected.
When you
FLARE,
when you
Flare USA,
acts of civil disobedience, the system
for liberation and resistance everywhere
fights back against you. But here we are. So we're being kicked out by National Park Services. You can see. So we got Park Police pulling up on the left of us. We got Park Police pulling up on the right. You can't see, but on the other side of the monument, there's more Park Police.
I think we saw this one, didn't we?
Now they've like tripled their fucking numbers, and they got the guard. So now we got like 1, 2, 3.
They're moving into those chalkers.
5, 6, 7 Park Police cars and National Guard over here. We got some ambulances that's pulled up here. See, remember last night there was like 100+ officers that came through, led by Park Police, Metro PD, Capitol Police, MPD, K9 units, helicopters, all kinds of shit. So I'm just
all they've got on Jolly is they talk about his teeth. But if he doesn't want to fix them, who gives a fuck?
Curious. Are they planning?
If he wants to fix them, go fix them. If you don't, don't.
What the fuck? So we got. Hey, eat fresh, motherfuckers.
Throwing a Subway sandwich.
Eat fresh, motherfuckers. Hey.
Banksy.
So the MRAPs are back. I want to show you guys where they've put these things. They got them up on the curb where people are supposed to walk at. Look at this. They serve absolutely no purpose. This is using our military. These are other veterans.
No.
Ask yourself why.
Remember your oath all day long.
Take the oath. Why are you wearing the uniform?
He's got like, I don't know if one's knocked out or something, or I don't know.
Your vehicles are parked on a walkway. The drip pans are down, chalk blocks are out. You're not going anywhere. You don't have a mission. Is this why you took the oath? Is this why you joined the military? Because you're being used as political pawns. They parked you on this walkway outside Union Station, the most highly visible place in D.C., so that you can be seen, so that people can take pictures of you, or just ask themselves why you're here, but ask yourself why you're here. And when you do that, I want you to remember the oath you took when you joined this military.
I got one that's chipped over here.
And to help
I need to get some dental work done.
remember what your oath is about, here's General Milley.
And that is why we fight.
I love that he's just playing it on loop for him.
Military, and may God bless the United States of America.
29 days, troops. 29 days is what your orders say. Why did they not put you on orders for 30 days? Why did they only put you on orders for 29 days?
So they wouldn't have to pay you.
You would get more money, more benefits. So not only did they take you from your family and put you here at Union Station with your vehicles on a walkway, drip pans down, top blocks out, with no mission. Not only are they using you for political theater, not only do they have you wear your body armor with no plates in it because it's all showmanship, they did not even have the courtesy of letting you stay for 30 days. Is this why you signed up, troops?
They would also earn leave. So they get BAH, they'd earn leave, they'd earn good days towards retirement. So 2.5 days per month of annual leave. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay them that way, so they're shortchanging them.
Is this why you took the oath? Is this why you serve your country?
They'll bring them for 29 days, stand them down for a week, and then bring them back up for 29 days. But they'll rotate out to where they still got all the soldiers there.
I argue it is not. But you must ask yourself that. You must remember your oath. To help you remember that oath, here is General Milley.
We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to America.
When you joined the military, you had to learn the soldier's creed. It says, I stand ready to deploy, engage, and defeat the enemies of the United States.
BAH, yeah.
Question, did you deploy here to engage and defeat us? Are you living up to these soldiers' creed? This is not your fault. It's not your fault you're here. But it's important that you ask yourself why you're here. It's important for you to ask yourself, why did they make me memorize this creed if they're going to put me in Union Station in D.C. with my vehicles on a walkway, drip pads down, chalk blocks out, wearing body armor with no plates, no mission other than a photo opportunity. This is showmanship. You're being used
Theater.
for political pawns.
100%.
I argue this is not why you joined the military. I argue this is not why you took your oath. I argue this is not why you should be away from your family, your children, your workplace, your life.
They will get paid in a lump sum. It'll be on the depending on when they start and end. It'll be either on the 15th or the 30th of next month, whichever comes first. But it'll be one lump sum payment for 28 days.
I argue that putting you here for only 29 days and not 30 to rob you of benefits, this is not respecting you. I encourage you today, troops, to remember the oath that you took when you raised your right hand that day and joined this army. And here to remind you of that oath is General Milley.
I love that he's just playing it on repeat. They need to hear it.
So I stepped away for a minute, but this is the National Guard leadership of the people here at Union Station. It's the first sergeant and the lieutenant that's in charge.
Did you notice there's hidden cameras on their plate carrier vest around center mass area behind the MP patch and U.S. flag patches, almost like an admin pouch, but has a cutout for the camera lens, and you can see the horizontal phone camera pointed at you guys. Probably intel gathering on you guys, just so y'all are aware. It does look like they're wearing a weird shaped body cam.
These troops out here came over and spoke with us. We just had a conversation for the past 5 to 10 minutes, but we've been protesting for a week, and today the National Guard leadership came and spoke to us, shook our hands as veterans, and we've been having a great conversation.
Why did my him have a fucking...
Looks more like a cell phone pouch, to be honest with you.
See, that's what I want to know.
I had a good long talk with that first sergeant explaining that, we want y'all to go home. Send your troops home, Top. That's what I told him. I told the LT, send your troops home. And we understand. I understand it's above their pay grade. But take our message to the next AAR. But I feel like this is a good sign of progress right here. So I stepped away for a minute, but this is...
May God bless our military.
A moment of solidarity during the veterans' protest at Union Station. I don't know why my speed isn't working. Sorry.
May God bless our military. And may God bless the United States of America.
Nazi salutes. First, whether you're with us or not, whether you agree with us or not, I want to take a minute to remind us all that George burning fiery blades. One ran into the riot crew.
We are a country that might be divided.
Free no debts to pay. My child's whims rule the day.
But if we're united is that we win.
They got to do what their orders are, or they're in violation of those orders. You can refuse unconstitutional orders, but just know you're going to catch a lot of hell until you're proven right or wrong.
Citizenship laws under attack, erasing rights, we're going back. Families again torn apart, mother's cries pierce my heart. Free speech threatened, science hushed, dreams quickly crushed, and autocrats grip tightens the noose. Lady Liberty feeling me abused. Tiny hands of vendetta across the land. Unchecked authority, screwing norms. Will democracy weather this political storm? Authoritarian moves in a two-fist dance, vulnerable folks in a fearful stance.
That's nice.
Stand to watch freedom slip because it can't. Dictator moves with tiny hands of vendetta.
Can you not hear when he speaks? He said, I understand it's above your pay grade, but take it to the next meeting, the next AAR, and tell those above you. I think he put it out pretty simply.
Across the land, unchecked authority, screwing norms. Will democracy weather this political storm? She's clear, this story's been told. History shows us how this unfolds. It's up to us to change the groove. Dance to freedom or accept dictator.
I want to... Sorry, hold on. I think that was that the last one for today? No. This one was.
Let me give you guys an update right quick.
To serve as the 20th
You hear that?
Joint Chiefs of Staff.
So 8 hours ago, we started playing this speech for the National Guard.
Up here on this stage.
And
I don't know. National Guard units, depending on where they're from, you'll find a lot of fucking Trumpers.
now, 8 hours later, we're still playing it. We've been playing it all day long. It's General Milley's speech reminding our America's military what we took an oath to remember your oath. And I want you to listen to what he says right here.
Unique among the world's military.
Listen.
We don't take an oath.
Is there any situation in which you could see large-scale resistance from troops, short of orders to shoot unarmed civilians? No, not really.
To a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion.
Something of that scale. Raiding fucking polling places or something. It had to be fucking insane.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen.
To be across, like, even slightly across the board. You might have one or two that's like, I'm not fucking doing that, dude. That is insane. But like to get a large group of people, it's got to be something insane.
Tyrant or dictator, and we don't take an oath to a wannabe.
We need generals that'll be like, no, sir, I'm not doing that. You might lose your job, right? You'll be a fucking national hero to half the country, but we need generals that are like, no, I won't tell my troops to do that. Or like they did with Trump in his first term, just working behind his back. They had to tell him what he wanted to hear, even though it wasn't a good situation to put anybody in.
Dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution.
8 hours.
The idea that is America.
8 hours I've been playing this and I ain't stopping. As long as they're here,
the United States of America.
General Milley's here.
Which is the moral leader.
Let me give you guys
So they didn't they did get kicked out. Their permit got canceled, but they didn't get kicked out. They're staying there underneath the flare protest. I just saw this. I want to see what this is.
Teachers are not underpaid. A lot of them just have this really weird complex where they think that they are owed a lot more than they are for the amount of work that they do.
Say hi to your rich parents.
Who the fuck is that? Teachers are not underpaid. They're just entitled fucking pieces of shit. You know who we haven't checked out? Oh, God. Debunction Junction.
Why didn't Democrats call for gun bans when President Trump was shot?
By sheer coincidence.
An AR-15 was used in the shooting of Donald Trump, just as it was an assault weapon that killed so many others, including children. It's time to outlaw them.
Why didn't...
All right, so our good friend conservative Jeffrey Mead created this post on Elon Musk's Twitter about Gavin Newsom on his podcast talking about job creation over the last 35 years. So I'm going to show this clip from Gavin Newsom, and then I'll be back in a second.
Since 1989, the end of the Cold War, 52 million American jobs have been created. 3 Republican administrations, 3 Democratic administrations. 96% have been created under Democratic administrations.
All right, so the claim here from Gavin Newsom is over the last 35 years, there's been 52 million jobs created under 3 Republican administrations and 3 Democratic administrations, and 96% of those jobs happened under Democratic presidents. But is that true? Well, let's take a look. And as always, we're going to get our data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. You know that thing that Trump doesn't trust anymore because the numbers are bad under him? And again, we're going from 1989 to 2020.
This is why Trump wants to take over the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
And anyone can download this Excel chart for themselves, but I'm going to show you where I did it. And as you can see, I've pulled that into this handy chart here, going from George H.W. Bush all the way down to Joe Biden here, and I have the total for each presidency right here. And if we go over into this chart, you can see that George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump had these 3 totals, which equals 1.875 million jobs. And here's the Democratic presidents, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden, and they equal 50.1 million jobs, making a total of 52,044,000 jobs. And as you can see here, if we take the jobs created over those 35 years by Democrats, divide it by the total jobs over those 35 years, and multiply it by 100 and hit equals, we get indeed 96.39% were created by Democrats. So with Jeffrey Mead being faced with that incredibly damning statistic, how do you think he plays it?
This is so manipulative. Pay attention to this because I'm going to break down exactly how and why he's being disgustingly manipulative.
That's right. When faced with those facts, Jeffrey Mead essentially says, and then he attempts to fix the issue like this.
First question, ask yourself, why did he choose to start at the year 1989?
Why did Gavin...
Is this relevant?
1989? Well, he answered that question in the video you stitched.
And it shows perfectly 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans.
This
3 Republican administrations, 3 Democratic administrations.
Yeah, Jeffrey, he literally was comparing the last 3 Republicans against the last 3 Democrats. That seems like an even comparison, especially...
But what happened in 1842? Don't you guys remember? There was a lot of tanners at the time, and God was a fur trade good under Republican presidents. Yeah, that's relevant.
George H.W. Bush was just continuing the economic policy.
The guy that shovels out the shit house, yeah, making a fucking half a shilling a day, pretty good, right?
Left in place by Ronald Reagan. So yeah, like all conservatives these days, they need to go back 40 years to dig up the corpse of Ronald Reagan to talk about the last time a Republican president had good job growth. But here's the problem for guys like Jeffrey Mead, because you see, we had a top marginal tax rate over 70% until Ronald Reagan was elected, and then he started pushing it down. But from 1982 until 1986, we had a top marginal rate of 50%. And if we look here at Ronald Reagan's job growth, you can see that in 1983 and 1984, those were the 2 best years of job growth under Ronald Reagan. And as you can see with these tax brackets from 1984 under the married filing jointly, there was a 50% tax bracket on every dollar over $162,400. And if we go to this inflation calculator, you can see that if you put $162,400 from January 84, that comes out to a little over $500,000 today. And yet in 2020, when Bernie Sanders ran, Republicans called him socialist because he wanted to put a 52% rate on every dollar over 10 million. So yeah, Jeffrey, in the early 80s, Ronald Reagan was running his tax brackets much like a...
They can just call it socialism and know that a large group of people will just block out the rest. Like if you just point and say socialism, he's a socialist, then they don't even listen to the message. They care less. I wonder how bad it would have to get for people in the lowest tax bracket, like the people I live around in my community, be like, God damn, we got to do something.
Democrat would, but then he decided to bring them down.
Right now, they're like, hell yeah, I love the millionaires and the billionaires. I think we should give them more money, right? So they make jobs and it trickles down to us.
And you can see that here with Reagan's 1988 tax brackets, where he literally reduced the tax code down to just 2 brackets, a 15% and a 28%, with a threshold of $29,750. So yeah, Jeffrey, as you can see here, if we take the last 5 years that Ronald Reagan operated with that 50% top marginal tax rate, we can see that there were 14.8 million jobs created under his watch. But when he dropped it down to 28% and Bush later amended it to 31%, and take those 5 years, they created only 5.8 million jobs. But I guess that's a coincidence too. But the most bizarre part about Jeffrey's video is that he tries to remove the fact that under Republican presidents and their tax plans, the economy goes into recession almost every time. I mean, if we take a look at every U.S. recession since 1950, you can see here, Republican, 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 Democrat, Republican, 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 and Republican. Yeah, that's 9 Republican recessions and just 1 Democratic recession. But yet, according to Jeffrey, that's just 75 years of bad luck, and it's not the responsibility of those Republican presidents.
We just had a real bad 100-year run right here, guys. It has nothing to do with Republicans.
All right, so I know that my page seems like it's turning into the all Jillian Michaels page, but this lady just can't stop showing her ignorance on...
Ooh, that is out of Grant Cardone. I used to listen to Grant Cardone. Like his motivational stuff and... you know, the way he breaks it down, but god damn, is he a grifter now.
Social media. And
he was back then too, but it wasn't as bad.
There's a high school in Midland, Texas that was formerly named after a Confederate general, but back in 2020 changed its name to Legacy High School. But recently, the school board there decided to change the name back to Robert E. Lee High. And that's where this tweet from Jillian comes in, where she says, just read in the Free Press that a high school is reverting its name back to Robert E. Lee and reinstating the Confederate flag. People will rush to pin this on Trump, but I'd argue it's something different. A backlash from younger generations choking on performative wokeness and spitting it back out. But is this true? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that Free Press article. And as you can see, if we Google Free Press Robert E. Lee, we get this article from the Free Press that says the Confederacy is great again at this Texas school. So let's go ahead and take a look at that article. And as you can see, here we are at the article, and it says here, Robert E. Lee High School ditched its name in 2020. The school board just voted to reverse the decision. People in the community are baffled. Does that sound like young people were railing against it? And then down here it says, despite the wide margin of public comments in favor of not renaming the school again, the board did it anyway. Do you even take the time to read these articles, Jillian? Or
just headlines.
I do it while you're karate kicking? Because this is the guy who actually triggered that vote, Jillian. Not exactly a youngster, is he? And this not so young lady was one of the strongest voices on the news in changing the name back to Lee instead of Liberty. But this paragraph makes it clear why this Texas school was named after a Confederate general when it says in 1954, after the Supreme Court's Brown v. Board of Education decision instructed the nation to desegregate with all deliberate speed, nothing much changed in Midland. In 1961, the district opened a new high school on the northwest side of town, just about as far away.
They basically did it in response to desegregating
from the city's predominantly minority neighborhoods. Thanks to redlining and the economic segregation of neighborhoods, the new school was almost certain to be entirely white. Should the district's intentions be unclear, the school board named the campus Robert E. Lee High School and chose a mascot that perfectly captured the community's prevailing here's where you can shove it attitude towards outside authority, the rebels. But while this school might have been all white way back in 1961, the year that they changed it to Legacy High School, this school was only 22% white. So yeah, Jillian, once again, your argument is 100% wrong. This has nothing to do with younger generations wanting that name back. It's all about alumni wanting to name it back to a Confederate general, no matter what the current student body thinks. All right, so I know that my page seems like it's turning into the all Jillian Michaels page, but this lady just can't stop showing her ignorance on social. All right, so a few days ago, I posted this video of Jillian Michaels saying this on CNN.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans own slaves?
This is the worst argument, bro.
her bad math, which included the fact that she used 1860 as her year, which brought in 20 million Americans who lived in the North, where slavery had been illegal for 50 years, and the fact that she used 4 million slaves as part of her white Americans math. But then a mutual of mine posted the video on Elon Musk's Twitter, which brought along all sorts of right-wing trolls. But then wouldn't you know it, tonight, after one of my replies, Jillian Michaels herself replied and doubled down on all the
I gave you statistics from the 1860 census, which according to ChatGPT was the peak for slavery in the United States, was 1860, right before the Civil War. According to 1860 U.S. Census, there were about 3.95 million enslaved people in the country. That was the highest number ever recorded in U.S. history. He said she included 4 million slaves in her white Americans math and picked a year, without divulging it, where slavery hadn't been legal for 65% of white American population. So the majority of the population was in the North, which had already made slavery illegal, right? Well, he'll do it. Watch the breakdown.
those statistics. And she did it on the same day that Donald Trump posted this inane rant on Truth Social saying museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segments of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control and dares to talk about how bad slavery was and says nothing about success, nothing about brightness, and nothing about the future. Imagine a history museum not talking about the future, and in the end he uses this crazy phrase saying that woke is broke. But remember, Jillian, I am the one who's advocating for all history to be taught. I mean, you used ChatGPT and said that the peak year of slavery in the United States was 1860, right before the Civil War, according to the 1860...
It says that UNLV retired the rebels in 2021.
Census, there were about 3.95 million enslaved people in the country, and that this was the highest number ever recorded in U.S. history. But why is that? Because we all know the U.S. banned the transatlantic slave trade with a congressional act prohibiting the importation of slaves.
Oh, wait. The university chose to keep the rebels' nickname, but the mascot was retired.
On January,
that's what you're talking about.
1808. And in the most recent census after that passage, you can see that slaves totaled 1.1 million at that time. And indeed, by 1860, there were 3.95 million enslaved people in the United States. But if we ask Jillian Michaels' favorite source, ChatGPT, why did the total slaves increase by 3 million between 1810 and 1860, even though slavery was banned in the North, we hear that it was from natural population growth. The U.S. was one of the only slave societies in history where the enslaved population grew without the need for continued imports. Enslaved women were often forced to bear children, and enslavers
constantly, all the time, bred, genetically bred to make better slaves.
From children born into slavery. And while yourself and Trump surely would not want to talk about the fact that there was a domestic slave trade where women were forced to give birth, then their babies were taken away and moved to different parts of the country to live their lives apart, that's not something you really want to focus on, but it is the truth. But what I became more interested in is where Jillian Michaels came up with this exact stat of less than 2% of white Americans owning slaves, and so I dug in on that. And it turns out if you Google that stat, it takes you back to August of 2017 when Unite the Right guys were in Charlottesville, Virginia, and that's when a lot of people started posting this nonsense again. And if you dig far enough on Facebook, you come up with this post in September of 2017 that matches to this article from Vice.com. And if you look up Vice.com, you'll see that it was created by this guy, who not only was the co-founder of Vice, but he also founded the Proud Boys. You remember the Proud Boys, Jillian? Those were the guys...
Stand by and stand down.
...at this debate, and instead he said this.
And right, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
But let's get back to that Vice article from November 30th of 2005.
I will condemn whoever you want. Whoever. Say it. Who do you want me to condemn? The Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. What? Why did you just say I condemn them?
Was entitled, Hey Kids, It's Time for Some Dumb Myths and Smart Facts About Slavery. And you can see that this author was a little more honest than you even. It says at the peak of black slavery in the South, only 6% of Southern whites owned slaves. If you include the white people in the North, it means that only 1.4% of white Americans owned black slaves at the height of slavery. But it's interesting to note that the journalist who wrote this article was named Jim Goad. But if we head on over to Jillian's favorite source, ChatGPT, and say, can you give me some short bullet points about Jim Goad. It says that he wrote a book in 1997 called Redneck Manifesto that argued that poor whites were America's most overlooked victims, but it's been criticized for feeding into white grievance politics. He also beat up his girlfriend in 1998 and went to jail for it. And then there's that 1.4 stat that he did in Vice that it says has been widely used by far-right and neo-Confederate groups. And for the icing on the cake, the dude writes for white nationalist outlets. He's contributed to extremist publications such as VDare and Takis Magazine, aligning with openly...
Score 57 just resubscribed for 33.
Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate it.
Were used as gator bait, as their mothers watched in horror. The cruelty was never-ending. Broken heart emoji, crying face emoji.
Thank you for the resubscription.
Racist platforms. So yeah, he seems like a great source, Jillian. Maybe you can have him on your podcast.
This isn't the video where he debunks it, but the reason that it's misleading is because it focuses on individuals, not households. So whoever the name was under. So like if well, that's not a great. So it focuses on individuals, not households, right? Only the head of household is typically listed as a slaveholder. Even though this whole family, and it may be fucking 5, 6, 20 people living in this household, this whole family benefits from that. It only does head of household, right? Individuals, not households. It was calculated against total U.S. population, where it was they took the much more heavily populated North that had already outlawed slavery and used those in the numbers of saying only this percentage of white Americans own slaves, and it ignores the regional concentration, right? It was overwhelmingly concentrated in the South, but we're using everywhere else to inflate the population numbers to bring it down the percentage numbers, right? So if you look at it in a more accurate way, if you look at households that own slaves, only in the places where they were allowed, where it was still legal at the time to own slaves, you're a lot closer to like 31%. 1 out of every 3 families owned slaves in the South at that time. If you go even further to like the deep South, where we're talking like Mississippi, South Carolina, the numbers get even higher. And that still doesn't include indirect beneficiaries that weren't part of the household, but still got benefits from slavery at the time, right? So 2% is, how can we make this the lowest possible number, right? Who can we include? Well, they didn't have slaves, so that's part of the population. These people did, right? It's disingenuous at best.
All right, so if you didn't catch the news, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin...
It's used specifically by white supremacists that downplay, like, hey, Americans benefited from slavery, which we did, obviously. It's used to downplay that by giving a much lower, saying, well, only 2% of blah, blah, blah. Right. That's the reason why.
In Alaska on Friday, and afterwards they held a press conference where Vladimir Putin said something very interesting. And oh boy, was MAGA happy to jump on TikTok and tell us what it was.
There's a big difference between only 2% of the population owned slaves and 1/3 of the households, almost 1/3 of the households in the South owned slaves. 1 out of every 3 people you knew owned slaves.
I'm going to let them tell us collectively.
Did you guys listen to that Putin-Trump conference?
Putin just said
that if Trump was president in 2022,
there would be no war in Ukraine.
Y'all didn't want to believe it when Trump would say it, but now it was confirmed by Putin.
Then why didn't he pull out of Crimea?
They weren't the only ones. Trump actually...
Why did he have the Wagner Group in the Donbass?
...with Sean Hannity after the press conference and said this.
And I was very happy to hear him say, if I was president, that war would have never happened.
All right, so we're establishing some ground rules here. According to Donald Trump supporters and Donald Trump, whatever Vladimir Putin says at a public press conference with Donald Trump is the truth. So with that, I'd like to point your attention to this public press conference that Donald Trump had with Vladimir Putin back in July of 2018 when Vladimir Putin said this.
Did you want President Trump to win the election? And did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Да, я хотел, чтобы он выиграл.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because he talked about bringing the U.S.-Russia relationship back to normal.
So there you have it. From Putin's mouth that he not only wanted Trump elected in 2016, but that he did direct his officials to help him do that. So with Putin admitting his preference,
Trump's there now. Why wouldn't he just end the war right now and say, you know, now that we're back to Trump in office, I'm fine. I don't need Ukraine.
for Trump on national television. Why is Tulsi Gabbard allowed to roll out evidence like this that claims that Putin had no preference for either candidate in 2016? I mean, according to you, we have to believe what Putin says, right, guys? Right? All right, so if you did... All right, so anyone surfing social media...
I love Debunction Junction. He's pretty good at it.
This week has surely seen this clip of Jillian Michaels saying this about slavery.
Oh, wait. Maybe this is the one where he breaks down the numbers.
And while she didn't name a specific year in her claim on CNN, she did tweet this out later saying, I'm denigrating all of humanity by pointing out that 98% of American white people in 1860 didn't perpetrate slavery. But let's take a look at this claim. Because yes, as the data shows, in 1860, there were 393,975 slave owners in the United States out of a total population of 31,183,582, or just 1.26% of the population. But let's take a closer look at that, because by taking a look at this map from 1860 of the percent of households that owned slaves at the time, we can see that slavery was no longer practiced in the North and was only practiced down here in the South. And so yeah, if we eliminate those 18 free states and only concentrate on the remaining 15 slave states, you can see we get that same amount of slave owners that now have a population of just 12 million. That's almost 19 million off of the original number, which gets us to 3.22% of the population owning slaves. And so yeah, if we eliminate those 18 free states and only concentrate on the remaining 15 slave states, you can see we get that same amount of slave owners that now have a population of just 12 million. That's almost 19 million off of the original number, which gets us to 3.22% of the population owning slaves. But here's another problem. If we just look at the U.S. slave states in 1860, we can see that in the slave column here, we have almost 4 million slaves. And because they can't own themselves, we got to minus them out too. And so if we remove them, we get...
That's what I forgot.
2 million with the same amount of slave owners. And now that number jumps up to 4.75% of the free population of these 15 states. But if we focus on just those 11 states that decided to secede from the United States in order to protect slavery, that percentage gets even bigger. So if we add up just the Confederate states, we get 316,632 slave owners and 5,582,222 people, meaning that now 5.67% of the free population own slaves. But again, this 5.67 number only deals with the patriarch of a family who actually owns those slaves, not the wife and children who stood to inherit them when he died. So if we take a look at that number, we can see that 30.8% of the free families in the Confederacy owned slaves, and that number was as high as 49% in a state like
half. 1 out of every 2 people in Mississippi, their family owned slaves at the time. That's insane. To try to downplay and be like, oh, only 2%, you know, that's not a big deal.
Mississippi. And that's why, Jillian, it's important to teach slavery to our school children, to know how it started, how it progressed, and what states decided to fight a war to keep it. I mean, there is zero evidence to say if these 11 states had beaten the North in the Civil War that they would have ever ended slavery. It was an economic advantage that they...
Here's the speech that Bug Girl's talking about, or an excerpt from it. Our new government is founded upon exactly the opposite idea. Its foundations are laid, its cornerstone rests upon the great truth that the Negro is not equal to the white man, that slavery, subordination to the superior race, is his natural and normal condition. This is our new government, is the first in the history of the world based upon this great physical, philosophical, and moral truth. This truth has been slow in the process of its development, like all other truths in the various departments of science. It has been so even amongst us, many who hear me perhaps can recollect, well, that this truth was not generally admitted, even within their day. The errors of the past generation still clung to many as late as 20 years ago. Those at the North who still cling to these errors with a zeal above knowledge, we justly denominate fanatics. All fanaticism springs from an aberration of the mind from a defect in reasoning. It is a species of insanity. One of the most striking characteristics of insanity, in many instances, is forming correct conclusions from fancied or erroneous premises. So with the anti-slavery fanatics, their conclusions are right and their premises were. They assume that the Negro is equal and hence conclude that he is entitled to equal privileges and rights with the white man. If their premises were correct, their conclusions would be logical and just, but their premises being wrong, their whole argument fails. I recollect once of having heard a gentleman from one of the northern states of great power and ability announce in the House of Representatives with imposing effort that we of the South should be compelled ultimately to yield upon this subject of slavery. That it was as impossible to war successfully against a principle in politics as it was in physics or mechanics. That the principle would ultimately prevail, that we, in maintaining slavery as it exists with us, were warring against a principle founded in nature, the principle of the equality of men. The reply I made to him was that upon his own grounds, we should ultimately secede, and that he and his associates in this crusade against our institutions would ultimately fail. The truth announced that it was as impossible to war successfully against the principle in politics as it was in physics and mechanics. I admitted, but told him that it was he and those acting with him who were warring against the principle. They were attempting to make things equal, which the Creator made unequal.
He didn't want to let go of, and that's what.
So the people that tell you that the succession, the war, the all that was not about slavery, this is from the vice president, right? Like, he's saying that God made us above the slaves, that they're not equal, that they don't have the same thought process, that they can't have a thought process, like, because we weren't educating them. But anyways, that they'll never be our equals, that we're founded on slavery, would do anything to keep slavery. It's a cornerstone of our new group of states, right? Of our new country. It's a cornerstone. This is why we did it and why we'll always do it. And we'll go to war for it. And it's not us that are wrong, it's you that are wrong.
It's no secret that when you take a look at the map of people that owned slaves in 1860 and compare it to the map of the states that decided to fight a war over slavery, and then compare it to a map of the violence that was brought against black people in the 10 years after Jim Crow laws were adopted in the South, and then compare it to a map of the segregation that existed all the way into the 1950s and the 1960s, it's clear that the same culture that was committed to slave ownership decades after other American states gave it up maintained that culture in those same states more than a century later. This is a picture from 1965 of a woman and her daughters. And that's why it's important to teach all.
Oh, they can't. Only the mods can see it, Jessa. They can't see it in chat.
Not just cherry pick certain percentages when they work for your argument. We need to teach kids everything and let them figure it out for themselves. All right, so anyone surfing social media this week has surely seen this clip of Jillian Michaels saying
the Beliefs Lives Matter is back. Can't wait to get a boot. Go suicide bomb a black church, you stupid jackass ape baboon. I'm going to build a refugee camp and grape Israeli children in exchange for food and shelter. I hate N-words. Kill all N-words. What's up, jackass? Hello, stupid libtard. Those are their comments. They can't. Only the mods can see it, and me.
Saying this. Hey, everybody. everybody, this guy calls himself Patriot Dad, and he sure is excited that at the end of July, Donald Trump sent his personal attorney to dangle a pardon in front of Ghislaine Maxwell and attempt to clear his name. But I'm going to let him tell you what happened, and then I'll be back in 1 second.
They sent Todd Blanche, the second in charge at the Department of Justice, and he sat down with her for 9 hours.
Yeah.
You want to hear one of the things that she told him? Ghislaine Maxwell told the Department of Justice that Trump never did anything.
She also said that she was innocent, that she had no idea what Epstein was doing
when she was around.
So that's right, Todd Blanche did sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell for 9 hours.
She just thought he really, really liked massages.
2 days, and the best quote they could dig out of her to leak to the press was that Trump never did anything concerning
around her.
Concerning around her for 9 hours. You couldn't.
What would be concerning to a madam who serves up fucking children to an elderly man so he can sexually assault them? What would be concerning to her? Well, you know, he didn't pay his parking meter.
To say Trump never did anything illegal or Trump didn't participate.
I love how they wield liberal like it's a bad word. I don't want to say this in mixed company, but that guy over there, he's a liberal. I hate to say this in front of all my triple Trumpers. I don't want to ruin the mood, but that guy's a liberal. Yeah, I believe in individual rights, liberty, consent of the governed, and political equality. Yep, that's me. Extremist over here.
Epstein's crimes. And look, not that you can believe anything that she says while they dangle a pardon over her head, but still, to only come up with he didn't do anything concerning around you, I mean, that sounds like someone giving a very careful legal answer, the kind you give just in case any videotapes might come out.
I do think she was kind of covering her at. Why would you say he never did anything concerning around me? Do you think that something's going to come out later and you could say, well, I wasn't there?
Later. But let's remember, Ghislaine Maxwell trafficked underage girls for 3 decades to the most notorious pedophile in history and actively participated in the abuse. So if you're not doing anything concerning to someone like her, maybe that's because you were participating in their business and couldn't testify against her later on. But again, cagey answers like this between Trump and Maxwell are nothing new. Let's remember what Trump said when Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested for these crimes and how he responded to this answer from this reporter.
I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach.
Wish her well.
So how is this not the
wish her well, guys?
Ever give to someone being arrested for years of child trafficking? And how can any Trump supporter feel like this concerning answer from Ghislaine Maxwell is any sort of indication for Donald Trump? Hey everybody, this guy calls himself Patriot Dad, and he sure is excited that at the end of July, Donald Trump...
That's crazy, but girl.
All right, so usually it takes a couple of minutes for me to debunk something the older millennial said, but this time he made it real easy on me. And the subject today is Trump firing the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So I'm going to let Joe here talk for a second, and then I'll be right back.
That's because the president fired the person in charge of researching the jobs numbers. Now, the liberals are out in full...
To be fair, if they want the jobs numbers to be more accurate when they're reported, because they're always do they go back and revise the numbers. But if they want them to be more accurate, that's fine. We'll just get them 90 days behind. So you won't know what's going on now. You won't know for 3 months later down the road to see what happened.
We're saying it's because the job numbers from July were bad. No, that is not why this person got fired. That's
100% why they got fired. That's why he wants to take over the BLS. Sorry.
Right, so usually it takes
I want to speed it up.
Because the president fired the person in charge of researching the jobs numbers. Now, the liberals are out in full force saying it's because the job numbers from July were bad. No, that is not why this person got fired. That person got fired because they've been in this job for a little more than 5 years.
So, whoa, Joe, you say that Erica McIntyre has been in the job for more than 5 years? And as you can see in this article, it says the Senate confirmed Erica McIntyre to lead the U.S. Labor Department's Bureau of Labor Statistics. And this article is from January 11th, 2024. And if you just go ahead, how long ago was January 11th, 2024? You'll find out it wasn't over 5 years ago. It's actually just 1 year, 6 months, and 26 days ago.
She's been there for a year and a half.
So that's one down. What else you got?
And never once have they gotten the job numbers right. Like 5+ years, putting out jobs numbers every month, and not a single time.
But she's only been there for a year and a half.
Have they ever been close?
So this is half not true and half holy hell you don't have any idea what you're talking about. Because this isn't just about taking a bunch of numbers and being able to add them up correctly. The way this happens is the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
They sent out an original survey.
sends out surveys to hundreds of thousands.
3 weeks later, they do a report.
Businesses, and the ones that report promptly within 3 weeks, they go into
4 weeks after that, they do a revision.
this initial monthly jobs report, and the ones that come 4 weeks later, they go into revision 1, and yes,
4 weeks later, they do revision 2.
the ones that come 4 weeks after that, they go into revision 2. So guess what? These numbers are never the same between all of the revisions. They're always getting new data as it comes in, and that's why it changes from month to month. And for proof of that, here is 2 charts. This is the entire tenure of Erica McIntyre, 18 months between 2024 and 2025. And as you can see, none of the numbers are the same from month to month because new stuff are coming in. But up here,
they couldn't be, right?
18 months of Donald Trump's first term between 2018 and 2019. And again, those numbers, all of them are different. Over here.
And we know this is going on. It always has been going on. We sacrifice the accuracy to get speed so we know if something we did last month is actually working or not working. And we can monitor those numbers as they're revised to get more accurate data about that, right? Or we just fucking wait and we won't know what happened for goddamn, 3, 4, 5 months.
You have a 312 initial offering, and the next month it dropped down by 90,000. So as
I said shout out to Dreamweaver, didn't I? He donated and I didn't see it. Did I remember to say that at the start of the show?
Never the same month to month. There's always revisions going on.
I felt bad.
I feel a little bit bad for Joe here because he didn't start off his social media career wanting to be so confidently wrong about political takes. And while you can't see his old school content on TikTok because he's been banned so often, he does maintain an original Instagram page where if you just scroll back far enough, you can see the career that Joe wanted for himself, where he was hashtagging stuff like
he used to do date advice.
Relationship advice.
Hey, TikTok community, this is actually my first video. I want to make it about relationship advice.
And while Joe eventually evolved into a successful misinformer for MAGA,
he does not have a long-term relationship, right? He's fucking TikTok groupies, and he ran his girlfriend off that he lived with for a while.
I feel like October 2020 Joe could have given June 2025 Joe some good advice if he just would have listened to it.
Guys, with it being Friday, there's just something I wanted to go over real quick. No one is less interested in arresting you than the cops. Okay?
Oh, no.
Their friends also happen to be cops working. That's why they're always hanging out around each other. You can walk up to them. You can talk to them. You can be friendly. They're really friendly people. They don't want to arrest you. What are they going to take you to the jail and then go back to the station and end up with some extra tasking while they do a bunch of paperwork? They'd rather hang out on a Friday night and watch drunk people act a fool.
Oh, that didn't age well, did it? All right, guys. It's 1 a.m. here. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here. Shout out again to Dreamweaver. They said I did. So shout out again to Dreamweaver. For the donation. I'm sorry I missed it. I felt really bad when I went and you were like, hey, I haven't been here in a while. I just want to shout out. And I never even saw it. So thank you for the donation. If you see this, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. If you want to support the show, do that. buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer. I will be fixing the website hopefully soon. I got a lot on my plate right now, but we'll get through it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Enjoy your holiday weekend. I'll probably be live tomorrow. Tomorrow night. If you want to hang out, that's cool. If not, I get it. You guys have a good night. We'll see you about the next one. Don't do anything Phil would do because it's probably dumb. Don't do anything Trump would do because you're probably on your deathbed. It is what it is. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you about the next one. Have a good night. And don't forget, police boots are tasty, or whatever that guy's name was. Wasn't that his name? What was his name?
Have to see this particular show. You don't have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell the rest of the world. You don't have fork and balls. You don't have balls.
Okay, Scott.
You know I think I started shit. This is all society. I get it. If you play some best, you know that stage is set. You better fuck up because you ain't seen her yet. You know I think I started shit. This is all society. I get it. If you play some best, you know that stage is set. You better fuck up because you ain't seen her yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came with in a 6 cents of stupid shit. Where my true people? Jesus. Praise the Lord. All these motherfucking prophets who profit off of gossip, worshiping drunk cocking, begging for a growth pot, swinging fucking hammers like fool in a thong. He straps a shaft, beating his chest like a King Kong. Starving for attention, I'm gonna make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Maybe there's a people alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Clinton on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5 towers. Cause you told him if you get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started shit. This is small society. If you play some best, you know that stage is set. You better up, cause you ain't seen her yet. Here we go, I think I started shit. This is small society. If you play some best, you know that stage stage set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself tumbling in the JQ bedroom. Over this closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped too much mushroom and I blew. I found myself in orbit strapped to an exit. How does that mean? Trump is winning. What I like, Code ABO and the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Wait. Stop. What? Get my files. Wait, what are you doing? Stop. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. Give me a... Oh my God.
Good night, guys. Oh, I forgot the music's doubled up. That was my bad.
It's about to get lit. Get the place in the best.